Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Joshua Russell, once again. Welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all doing well. I hope y'all have an awesome day today. And right now, I'm going to be doing a TV show and video game vlog. This time, I'm going to be going over my thoughts on The Punisher: One Last Kill, Rick and Morty, and the 2020 PS5 video game Astro's Playroom. I had an absolute blast watching The Punisher: One Last Kill, and honestly, it reminded me exactly why The Punisher has always been one of Marvel's most intense and compelling characters. Seeing Jon Bernthal step back into the role felt like he never left, bringing the same raw emotion, brutal intensity, and psychological depth that made his earlier performances so unforgettable. I loved how this special didn't just focus on the action, but also explored Frank Castle's pain, trauma, and the emotional scars that continued to haunt him, giving the story real weight and heart. The fight scenes were absolutely vicious, hard-hitting, and some of the most brutal, badass action Marvel has ever put on screen, which made every confrontation feel intense and unpredictable. The darker tone, emotional storytelling, and incredible performance from Jon Bernthal kept me completely invested. It also felt like a meaningful continuation of Frank Castle's journey rather than just another action-packed side story, which I really appreciated. Now, I really enjoyed The Punisher 2017 Netflix TV show, and I'm definitely going to be reviewing that on the channel, but I still think that The Punisher: One Last Kill was an awesome continuation. So overall, The Punisher: One Last Kill was an awesome badass Marvel special that delivered everything I wanted. Great action, powerful drama, and a fantastic return for one of Marvel's most complex anti-heroes. Now, I've been a huge fan of Rick and Morty ever since it first aired on Adult Swim back in 2013, and it's honestly one of the funniest shows I've ever watched. Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland did an awesome job working on this show, and it immediately stood out with its wild sci-fi ideas, dark humor, and completely unpredictable storytelling. Every episode had me laughing my ass off because the jokes are clever, so insane, and sometimes so messed up in the best possible way. I love how Rick and Morty can go from hilarious over-the-top comedy to surprisingly emotional and thought-provoking moments without missing a beat. The characters are unforgettable, the adventures are completely bonkers, and the writing constantly keeps me guessing about what crazy dimension or disaster is coming next. For me, Rick and Morty is one of those rare shows that's funny as hell, endlessly creative, and a series I can keep coming back to again and again. Now, back when I first got my PlayStation 5, one of the first games that I've played besides Marvel's Spider-Man 2 was Astro's Playroom. I had an absolute blast playing this game, and honestly, it ended up being one of the best surprises I had on my PS5. Going in, I thought it was just going to be a short tech demo, but within minutes, I realized it was a genuinely fun, polished, and incredibly charming platformer that had so much heart. The controls felt smooth and responsive, and the way the DualSense controller was used with haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, motion controls, and even tiny environmental sensations completely blew me away. I also loved how every level was packed with colorful visuals, creative gameplay ideas, hidden collectibles, and clever references to PlayStation's history that brought back so many great memories as a longtime fan. And I've played a lot of PlayStation games: Marvel's Spider-Man, God of War, Infamous, Uncharted, The Last of Us, Ratchet & Clank, and Ghost of Tsushima. Team Asobi designed Astro's Playroom as both a showcase for the PS5 hardware and a celebration of the PlayStation brand, something critics and players praised when it launched in November 2020. And by the time the credits rolled, Astro's Playroom wasn't just a free pack-in title to me, it felt like a joyful love letter to gaming and one of the best experiences I had when I first got my PS5. And of course, Team Asobi will later release Astrobot in September of 2024, and I'm definitely going to be talking about that game on the channel later down the road. So those are my thoughts on Rick and Morty, Astro's Playroom, and The Punisher: One Last Kill. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram and like me on Facebook. Take care, and I'll see you guys later.